Everybody. Welcome to Q Aquatics and Exotics. And tonight is live stream number 13. I'm not very superstitious. Well, I am a little superstitious, but 13 was my sister's favorite number. So it's near and dear to my heart. So welcome to Sundays sitting by the pond and chatting. I decided to jump on a little early because I see we have lots of people in the chat already, and I can't wait to say, hey. So how is everybody? I saw, hey, one fish. Candy's in the house. 54 Punchy, what's up, Pam? So I saw that Candy was in a watch, a tornado watch. You be careful. Let me tell you, I have never been so scared as it was about 2 weeks ago. I was sitting in the parking lot eating something I wasn't supposed to be eating. And a lot of it, you might say I was binge eating. You just might say that. But anyway, and I saw the sky turn almost dark, black. And I'm like, okay, storms are coming. I should just get home. I was going to go to the store, but, I'm binge eating because that's what I do when I'm nervous. And next thing you know, the car started shaking. And it was lifted off the ground and put back down again. I was too far from the store to walk there. I was so scared. I put my seatbelt on because I didn't know what was going to happen. And then I pick up my phone because I'm going to, live stream to my kids, telling them how much I love them. And that's how scared I was. I thought that was it. But because of what I was doing in my car, I'm like, I can't show people. I was so it was the most weird, frightening stream of roller coaster of emotions that I've gone through in a long time. It was horrible. And then a street sign went in front of me. And then another one. It was like the street signs were just being picked up and tossed around all over. Oh, I was so scared. Now the McDonald's about a half a mile down the road got destroyed. So I was in the tail end or somewhere near the vicinity of that hurricane. But thank goodness it just picked me up and dropped me because I don't know what would have happened. So that's my scary story for, not to scare you, but I take tornado watches seriously now, where before it was like, yeah, what do we think? We're in Kansas. I'm in Pennsylvania. What is going to happen in Pennsylvania? Well, I was in New Jersey, and the New Jersey's been hit several times with tornadoes touching down. So I'm like, geez. So that's my story. That's why I can feel your nerves. So, Candy, yes, I did. I wish I took a lot of the water lettuce out, and I think it was just in time. I really think I was going to start suffocating my fish. It got, within a matter of a couple days, so thick that when my turtle's head popped up, I couldn't even see her. So it would be great if I could use that water lettuce and feed it to the turtles and tortoises. That would be great, but they don't eat it. And it's so invasive. I got to be real careful how I destroy it. So it's in a plastic bag now, suffocating, and then I'll put it in the trash. But wow, what a difference when I can actually see the fish swimming around. I can see the bottom of my pond again. But I'm still a little nervous because that water lettuce was actually probably 1/3 of my filtration system. So I just basically, it's like I cleaned out my sponge filter and my hang in the back filter with tap water all at the same time. But I'm very blessed that I have a lot of scum on the bottom, a lot of rocks, a lot of beneficial bacteria all over the pond. So I'm hoping everything is cool. Hey, Big Smoke. The Science Gal come in. Hi, Science Gal. I hope I'm not screaming. Am I too loud? I get excited. Hey, Melvin. Chewy's in the house. 13 is a good number. Thank you. Aquarium thoughts. Great about to... Oh, you're going on a break. Nice. You're going to be sad, though, when it's time to go back to work. Select pet. Let's see. Oh, I forgot I can highlight. This is good. It's SuzyQue. Who's going to impersonate this week? I really wish. Trust me, I thought about it because I have some of my favorite YouTubers that if I just did the mannerisms and and certain sayings that they do, you'd know who I was doing instantly, even though I wouldn't sound like them. But I don't want to like Funk asked for it, so I did it with Funk. I don't want, because some people might, not think it's funny. And these are people I love. Like, it'd be real. I can't even go there because I might insult somebody. So, hey, loaves and fishes. Otherwise, I would love to imitate somebody in the beginning every week. Welcome, everybody, to Q Aquatics. Please hit that like button and follow Q Aquatics on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you very much. And follow No Salt BP, especially if you are interested in cooking healthy food. She makes some amazing dishes. Absolutely amazing. Any up graphics in the house? Hey, yo. This is where I get all my vinyl when I make my own shirts. Any up graphics. That's also where I get my, they started making, selling the materials needed to make your own stickers if you have the right machine at home. But I'm learning how, I don't have it. My cup that says YouTube fish tube on it. I got all my materials from Any of Graphics. Oh, hey, Haley. Good job today. I wish if I knew Callie was going, I may have blown off all my chores today and gone with her. For me to drive that alone would have been crazy, but I would have been a heartbeat gone with Callie. Sounds like you guys did some amazing educating in Ohio today. I really wish I could have gone. I mean, that's some serious stuff. 54 Pam is saying, hey to Annie up. That microburst hit you. Yes, I've never heard of a microburst before. Didn't even know what that was, but oh my gosh, that was frightening. So I think I can. Is D in the house? Is D in the house? Hey, D. It was so good. That was me this morning talking to you about heading over to Funk and confessing your sins when you were talking about when you were a teenager and doing the fish thing. And I was just being funny. But then I saw you got kind of upset, like, I hope it wasn't me. I'm like, yeah, girl, it was you. Good day, Mob. Look at this. Blackie in the house. Hey, Blackie. Is this Monday morning for you, correct? Monday. Yeah, Big D. What the hey? Oh, tell me about it, Scott. I was praying. I was frightened. Since everybody's talking about my story, I think I'm so behind. That was a touch to make you think of what you were doing. Oh, tell me about it, because, I have people, not that I report to, that sponsor me and how not to eat like that. And I think it was literally God with his 2x4 saying, put that down. It was an awakening for sure. It was like, wow, you couldn't have gotten any clearer. This has been crazy. Was it 4 days ago? It rained so hard, the pond started to overflow right on the brim. I was so worried, because if it overflows a little bit, my house is right next to my house and right next to my basement, right next to the basement stairs. And I thought about it. I really should have an emergency pump contingent so I can pump them out to at least the other side of the yard, even though it was just pouring down so fast, so hard. It was so crazy. Growing up in Ohio. See, I grew up in the Clark Summit area in northeast part of Pennsylvania. We really didn't have a whole lot of tornadoes, hurricanes. We had bear. We had bear all around us. Black bear and brown bear in the woods. Neighbors there. But we didn't. I don't ever recall having weather like this. Somebody's saying hi to Mrs. B, so she must be in the house. Hey, Lacey. Oh, there she is. Hi, Angie. So you guys have to tell me if I'm screaming. I'm just getting so excited here. I look so forward to the Sunday nights now, connecting with everybody and being able to talk and read everybody's messages. And I really like it. So if anybody's ever interested in jumping on, I'm going to talk about Streamyard for a minute. This looks like I could have 1, 2, 3 guests, super easy. The The only thing is when my guests are on, they can't really see the stream, but they could have it on their phone or something and see the chat. They can't see the chat, but there's a 10-second delay. So in the description below, I have an affiliate link for StreamYard. If anybody wants it, I use a free version. It's free. From what I'm using, and it's more than I can handle, it's perfect for me. And it's easy to use. And I'm sure there's a lot more bells and whistles if it wasn't free. I think one of the things is that you don't see the StreamYard logo when you pay for it, and there's some other things. But I've been in contact with the creators of StreamYard to do some improvements on some of their things. That the chat for my guests was one of them. Highlighting super chats was another, because I missed my very first super chat because it was all white and I never even noticed it. And then 3 weeks after I started using StreamYard, I noticed those 3 streams were not monetized. So I had to go into my settings and click on the monetization and turn it on for those streams. Tonight, I tried it a little different. I hope you guys got notifications, and let me know in the comments below if you got notifications for this, because I tried to set it up ahead of time with notifications. And once it was out there, then I went into my settings and turned on monetization before the stream started. I don't know if it worked yet or not, but that's what my goal was to try to do. So you're going to have to let me know. But yeah, the people, I think the guy I'm working with is Gage. I don't know if it's a he or she. Doesn't matter. Super nice, super responsive. We did a practice with, we did some practice runs, and that's where we noticed that we couldn't see the chat. But, and not that there's anything against OBS. If you know how to use OBS and have it set up, it can be easy once you get to the part where you're used to using it. Just getting it set up wasn't, this is point and click. So if you're entry level like me into the live stream, it's just point and click. And I like how I get to click on, let's say, Aquarium Thoughts. I got notified. That's awesome. Awesome. Look at Melvin is saying, I got notified. Lacey saying, yes, I did. That's great. So I went in ahead of time, set it up, set it for 7 o'clock. And then I was able to go out of it and then go into my YouTube. It was already in my settings. And then I could make my adjustments. I could have uploaded a thumbnail, but of course I wasn't ahead of time and didn't take my picture or anything. So I did that afterwards. Oh, thank you, Candy. Thank you, Candy. Yeah, this is awesome. Let me tell you, I love it. And I use a free version. So it's not like you have to pay for anything. You just point and click, and you can have guests on. So what I want to do, because you don't even have to go live. If you go unlisted, now you can have like that FaceTime. If you have iPhones, you can all do FaceTime. But if everybody doesn't have iPhone, and some people don't have Skype, and you just do this. You don't ever have to make it go public or anything. And if you want to like do a collab with somebody and set things up, this is a perfect opportunity. I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, look at Tampa Tom saying, hey to No Salt. Madfish in the house. Hey, Miss Diva. Oh, Jay Betta's back. Jay Betta, let me tell you what I did. I set up a whole rack of my Betta tanks. They were kind of scattered throughout the house, and I worked all day on it, pulling them off, and they're all in 2.5 gallons. I just had a blast. I had a blast pulling them all together, looking at them, rescaping these little tiny tanks. Oh, loved it. Watching your pond built is the reason I picked a downhill slope and purposely made a low spot so when the pond flooded, it went away from the house. You have an amazing yard, too, and a beautiful pond. I wish I had some options, but that's okay, because when you get what you get, you just work around it. And that's why I love this. Like, my pond is almost half my yard. Now, you see over here that 3-tiered garden? I would love that to be my water feature, with a stream running right into the pond, with a bridge going over the stream, and the water pumping the pond back up into the water feature. But then my whole yard would be like a water feature. Not that I'd mind. I think it'd be great. But I think John will be moving in soon, so I have to always ask Now, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Is Mr. B in the house? Oh, Mr. B's in the house. There's Mr. B. Panoxy's tank. Oh, look at this. I did skip a lot. Worldwide Tropicals. Love what you're doing with your videos. Keep it up. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. So I don't know if anybody saw KG Tropicals video today. I'm struggling with trying to make a fish stand. I have watched YouTube videos, the King of DIY, all these, and they're very good for people who are well versed on the power tools. I know how to use a circular saw, and I have a table saw, but I don't think I know how to use it properly, or at least I'm a little intimidated by it. I hate to say it. I make dollhouse furniture in miniatures. My table saw I've been using for the last 30 years is 4x4. It's a little table saw about that big. You know, I work with 1/8 wood, 1/8 inch cherry and oak and walnut. So using 2x4s in a big people saw is kind of scary, but I'm started to do it and I'm started trying it because I can't keep buying a fish tank stands. And Bucks County Aquarium Society, Tom Galuli just texted me and said that he had a stand for me for the 55-gallon. I'm like, yay. Thank you. But I watched KG Tropicals because I'm trying to figure out, and maybe you guys have done this. I have a lot of really good fish keepers in the chat. Popo going through the hood. Come here. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I used to at one time. Yeah, that was me. But I have 5, 6, 8 20-gallon longs. And I was thinking about putting them somehow this way. Like, so they'd come out from the wall 30 inches that way, if that makes sense. And I was thinking 4 here and 4 here. I don't know, or maybe just the bottom. I'm not sure, but I'm looking for some creative ideas on how to house my 20-gallon because right now they're on the baker racks, and I don't really think they're that stable because they're just held up with little pieces of plastic. So I'm kind of worry about that. Oh, Lacey. Let me go to Ray first because that's funny. I see water in that pond now. Yes, there is a lot of water. There's over 2,000 gallons of water in this pond, and I want to add another 2,000 gallons with my water feature from up there coming down here. How great would that be? So look at Lacey. Lacey and I are in very similar situations, but I think her fiance and her already live together. Sounds amazing. I would do it. Do it before he moves in. What's that saying? It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission or something like that. Oh, something like that. That's funny. Wow. Is this a super chat? I'm going to guess this is a super chat. Scott, thank you so much. What? See how easy it would be for me to not see this. I'm glad I'm going through. I'm going to have to go through. This is amazing. Thank you, Scott. OBS or bust tonight. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Let me tell you. I have, like I said, with Nick Nimmons, and I had it set up so that the chat shows up. It gets highlighted. I have transitions set up. So if you put the work behind the scenes into it, once it's built, it's super easy. You can click and plink. But if you're not at the place where you want to sit there and build up your internal studio for live stream, Streamyard, point and click, just like that. Oh, I can't wait to see. I think it's going to be great, Scott. You're going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. And thank you very much for that super chat. Holy cow. Tampa Tom. Oh, Aquafunk says, Tampa Tom, what's up, buddy? He said, what's up, bud? What's up, bud? Scott and Liz in the house. Are you going to give John his own fish room? I'm sure you've thought about saltwater. Well, he has a 74-gallon bow front at his apartment, and I have a nano tank reef tank at his apartment. It's very easy to make RODI water in an apartment setting where you're not paying for your own water. But I do have in my living room a 120-gallon tank that right now has some rainbow fish in it, some clown loaches along the bottom and beautiful cory cats, a couple of plecos, the L177 and the blue phantom, and 2 cichlids, 2 Biahes, Biahe Brardies, but they could certainly be put in a 75-gallon tank. And they have 2 overflows in the back, so it was actually set up to be a reef tank. It was set up to be a saltwater tank. So there has been conversation going on about switching it over to saltwater. I was talking with my friend, One Fish, Two Fish ROC, and that is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a big expense, but we wouldn't be adding anything to it. It would just be his fish and my little. I have a goby and a pistol shrimp in my nano tank, and this horrible creature from outer space lives in my nano reef tank. And if you don't, you got to check out that video. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. It was about this thick along, and it went from here all the way to my elbow, and there were several of them. And it must not have known I was out, because I've had this tank for years and have never seen anything like it. It was a bristleworm, the biggest, thickest bristleworm. It gets bigger every time I tell the story. It's really only this big. But it went from here to here, and there was at least 3 of them that I saw. And they curled up and disappeared inside the rock. How long they've been in my tank? They've probably been growing since they looked like mealworms, and they were just absolutely disgusting, at least in my mind. I'm sure somebody out there would like them. Let's see. That's a lot of glue using smaller wood. It's a lot of glue. Again, oh, here's a name I don't know. Mac Jamming Anglo. Do you know how to get spray paint out of baby's eyes? I don't know what that is. Run, Q, run. No, you were talking about the comment. What did you do? Run! Oh my gosh, you guys are so funny. Put aquariums in the doll houses, super nano tanks. So I do want to put my doll houses in the aquariums, but I have to figure out how to seal them, because I could make amazing decor for aquariums. Absolutely amazing. I could craft it to whatever you wanted. I just have to know how to seal it, or I can make miniature dollhouses aquariums. So I'm playing around with both ideas. I'm working on a miniature pond. It's about this big. It's going to be in the yard of my dollhouse, and I'm making the koi to go in it. And I want to make this bridge, and I want part of it to be overrun with water lettuce. So yeah, that's what I'm working on now. Hey, RNH2O, how are you doing? Hey, JH, I missed your stream, but I started to watch your video when I had to jump on here, so I can't wait to see your video. You should put the name of it in the comments. And I understand why you didn't want to go live. I know it's been a rough one. Watch Aquarium Co-op's video. I do. The cinder block stands I have. The problem with the cinder block stands are they're 8-inch. They're taking up 16 inches, more than a foot of space when you go higher. And my basement is so small. That's massive. That's like a lot of wasted space. Because if you go take a look at my angelfish I just set up. I used the cinder block method. And let me tell you, for someone my size, my age, my height, I'll say, getting 12 cinder blocks from Home Depot into my car, one at a time, because I cannot pick up 2 at a time, one at a time from my trunk into the backyard, through the kitchen, down the steps, into the basement, all the way to the back where it was. Cinder block number 1, cinder block number 2. Holy cow. I was like, I don't think I will ever do that again. Yes, it was easy to construct, but it certainly was not easy to build, not for someone of my stature. This is how I did it, Q, with all the tanks except for the display. Oh, did I miss how you did it? 240 gallon. Wow, that's sweet. That's my dream tank size. Oh, she's saying, hey, Elizabeth. I am doing great, Tampa Tom. Just thinking about making jewelry. That's pretty interesting. Oh, King, you're so awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Look at Jack and Dan's in the house saying hi to Mary. If you dig the pond and he doesn't like it, tell him to backfill it and seed it. Did I tell you that we're engaged and I want to be with him the rest of my life? I don't want him to run. But that's funny. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Let's see here. Oh, I like this. I like when he gets his all caps out. Look at same time, same place. Look at that. You guys are awesome. So why'd you switch then? Let me tell you why I switched. Because the very first time the chat, and I'm thinking you're saying from OBS to StreamYard, the very first time this chat box switched and the font got so big that I couldn't minimize it, like I couldn't put it back, so the chat went away and then I had to open up another chat. Then I tried to write some HTML coding to get the chat back to the regular side. I got messed up with that, so that didn't work. I tried to bring in something else that messed up two of my transitions. So it's more like, okay, now I got to stop. I have to do some research on how to rebuild it to make sure it's accurate. I think I deleted the wrong transition and the two that didn't work well stayed. So that made it so that I couldn't bring in my logo. It made it so I couldn't bring in the big fireworks for when if I ever got a super chat. I would have been able to do that for this one, a super chat, like the fireworks going off and stuff like that. That part's pretty cool. And screen sharing, very cool. But because I messed it up and now I have to reset it up and get rid of what isn't working, it's going to take time. Right now I'm putting all my energy into making my video a week and preparing for a live stream. So learning that new software right now, I figured StreamYard was perfect, came in my life at perfect time, super simple. It'll work until I can get back to my OBS. That's what I figured. And I needed a place where I could chat with Elizabeth and Funk and any of graphics so that we could talk like online without, so we could see each other and talk. So I just need something quick. Hey, Aquafunk, be right back. Oh, I did all that and he didn't hear me. Somebody can read. Q, yes. He has moved in with me. I lived at his house for a year and we clashed. We bought house number 2. So here was my idea. Tell me how crazy I feel this is. We'll buy a twin. So he'll have his space, I'll have my space, and then we'll have our space. Doesn't that sound like a perfect win-win? I think it sounds like a great idea for people who have big bucks and can afford twins. Is Liz helping you tonight? Oh, yeah, he will be fine. He's using OBS, and I think he's going to be great. Just hover and click, I think. Okay, that's something I missed. Absolutely missed. He doesn't care as long as it doesn't make it work. Well, that's my problem. It seems like, and I think Fish Keeping Jamaica had asked me this, why it was so hard for me, not women, but me in the fish keeping hobby. And it's the moving of tanks. Like, I like to pretend like I can do it all myself. I don't need help. I can't. And I certainly don't have like 3 men friend to come over. Like, come on over and help me move this tank over here. Or I'm trying to tear down a shelf. It's been sitting there for 3 weeks now because somehow or another I got to get a 40-gallon breeder from shoulder height up and over and out. And I just can't do it myself. So I need his help on certain things, or this air return for the air conditioner. I really would like it moved to the other side of the house so I don't have to turn the air off every time I do a live stream. So I still need his help. And unfortunately, it feels like it's all the time. I'm like, ooh, before you go, can you do this? Before you go, can you do this? Yeah, those are nice bristle worms. I don't know anybody who said nice. Nice. Funk wants you to slam the like. Oh, and Salt wants you to like. So I don't care if you like or dislike. I dare you. But go hit one of them, please. Look at that, Mr. B. I got all 3 of yous going on. What? I talk during our commutes every morning, and we cover a lot of topics. Oh, my gosh, do we ever. I feel like we solve all our fish keeping problems, even some of our world problems, in the mornings before I even get to start my day. Before we started doing this, here's how I would show up to work. Yeah, here I am. Now when I show up for work, I had a conversation with my girl. I come in like this. They can throw things at me all they want. I can dodge them a little bit faster. Like, go ahead. When you're not alone in the world, life is good. And if you think you're alone, you're not. Say something to somebody because you're not alone. And it makes life so much easier. Oh, bigger every time. I gave Lee the living room. Oh, there you go. There you go. So I thought about that, like swapping up different rooms. He didn't like that very much, but that's okay. Oh, Ness is in the house. Ness MSA. Look at that. Am I getting the way this way? Look at this canna lily. Doesn't that look amazing? I didn't think it was ever going to flower. It flowered once early on and nothing. And I think everything in my pond really likes that I removed all that water lettuce. It did serve a purpose for a long time, but whew. So Worldwide Tropicals is asking Elizabeth, how's your day going? Oh, look I love this. I'm getting distracted. It's like shiny thing everywhere. Wooden racks are super easy to build and cheaper than building out of 2x4 studs. So I guess I don't know what a wooden rack is because I was thinking the wooden racks are the 2x4s. So again, I get confused. Run, it's a troll, scare them. Oh, is that the thing with the baby? KG just related to that. Ray, that's the video I was talking about. And he did a brief overview, yada, yada, yada. If you're real skilled with saws, you knew what he was talking about. Click, click, click. But if you're not real skilled at building those, I was still lost. And at the very end, he said, check out this link I made years ago. So I went to that, and it was a very slow-paced, detailed, what he was cutting, how he was cutting it, why he was cutting it. It was perfect. The two videos together, I think I'm going to try and use those as my template and make some stands. So I wanted to try to figure out how to make these 30-inch deep stands for all my 20 gallons, 20-gallon longs. But then I thought that's silly because then what am I going to do above it? But I don't know. I can't figure it out in my head. What am I going to do with all my 20 gallons? Because I've run out of space. Do you know a metal worker? I do not. A welder, metal worker, or somebody who melts metal? No, I do not. I think my nephew went to school for it. My nephew went to school for it because he has that mask. So I think he might still do that. But I don't know if he's going to do anything for his Aunt Sue. Guys that lay those blocks have a block test. Yeah, I couldn't even carry one. Oh my gosh, one was killing me. It was hard carrier that was like it for a living. Yep. Oh, you blew out your lower back. I bet. Streamlabs OBS needs to create a way to highlight comment without the HTML stuff. Yes, thank you, JH. Yes, because once I lost my HTML code, or I didn't lose it, something went awry, and I was using it fine, and all of a sudden the text got super big, and I couldn't get it. So I'm like, okay, without the chat, then I was like, then my one transition got messed up. I just switched back to Streamyard, and it's super easy, super fun. I'm using it for free, so if anybody's interested, click on the link and give it a shot. You don't have to pay for anything. It's free. And they're so new in building out this platform for us. They're still working on upgrades. So I told them about it's kind of critical that we have that you could see the chat for your guests that are in the stream, and that any super chat you get should be highlighted. There's got to be a way for that to stand out. And there's a 10-minute lag between what we're talking here and if I had YouTube up here. I mean, 10 seconds. There'd be a whole 10-second lag. That's a pretty big lag. Putting tanks together widthwise is the same length. It doubles tanks. So you're saying 220 long side by side, 220 long side by side. Oh, everybody's saying hey to JH. There we go. There we go. There's the man of the hour. How are you doing? You need to put a little picture on your, what do you call that? Not the icon. What do you call the picture that we have of our face? You guys know the word. Anyway, thank you so much. That was awesome. And I heard Kaylee did some amazing things for the fish keeping hobby today. I heard it was Kaylee, somebody else from the Bucks County Aquarium Society, Rob 93, and Haley of Oddball Aquatics. So they were there educating people who got goldfish. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I can't wait to rally together. If this event is happening next year, I will be right there with her. Right there with her. Education, education, education. We're having friends over, so I have to go. Thank you, Worldwide. Have fun. Is Deemer in the house? Deemer! And for all intents and purposes, so everybody knows, I stole that from Streamyard Aquatics. Yes, I did. But it's never going away, because when I see Daryl, I say, Deemer. I remember in the beginning, people were calling Deemer. Dimer. Deemer. Deemer! It just stuck. So thank you, Bob of Streamyard Aquatics, for that nickname. Hey, Daryl, what's going on? Oh, I need a clone, yeah. Ooh, heading to Vegas tomorrow. I'll take some footage of ATM, and it's going to be super hot there. Oh, I like the hot. I like the heat. You'll never hear me you won't hear me complain much about the heat. I wish I was going to Vegas, but then again, I'm a pretty big gambler, especially Texas Hold'em. I was in Vegas playing Texas Hold'em, and right next to me was this super mega star. I say right next to me, there was a glass wall between us, and he was in the high roller room. But I was like, what? It felt like I was right next to him, but I wasn't really. But in my mind, I pretend like I was. Anyway. Okay, just take it easy at the rest of the weekend. How are you doing? You tell him. Oh, yeah, have fun. Don't feel bad. I can't lift tanks by myself either. Part of that's why I joined my local fish club. I need more muscle. It's hard. It's so hard when I have like 12 things to do, and they're all contingent on moving this tank here, and everything comes to a screeching halt. Because once this tank is here, then you can fill it up and start moving the fish in and then breaking down these tanks. But if that's the part and you have to rely on other people, that's when I feel like I'm intruding on other people, because I'm constantly saying, hey, can you help me? Hey, can you help me move this tank? Can you help me get this tank out of my car? Can you help me with, oh my gosh, it's nonstop. Maybe I just move things around too much. Oh, Pleco Whisperers in the house. Because it ain't easy being Big Easy. Who's done? You're done with what? Are you done with, I didn't see, but I'm hoping it was water changes, because I was doing water changes all weekend long. Yeah, they are very compatible. Thank you for saying that. It's so true. We are not alone. That's true. And it's so easy to forget that when you're feeling lonely, but you're not. Especially in this group, with this hobby, with this fish fam, just reach out. Even if you just reach out, you're not alone. I watched this horrible TV series. I wish I'd never watched it. It triggered so many things in my life that it brought back all those feelings when I was a teenager, and it was just not a good TV series for me to watch, or I should have watched it with a grown-up, but I didn't, and I had to be reminded. First of all, I'm not that teenager. I'm not being bullied. I am not alone, and the only thing that's permanent is suicide. That's permanent. You can get past it. You can get past it and go forward. I'm living proof of that. You can get past it and go forward. It is a beautiful canna. Thank you. I think I'm far behind again. I'm going to, oh, wow. So far behind, but that's okay. HTO, stupid autocorrect. See, that's what happens when I try to skip to the bottom. There's absolutely not, or on HBO, they would never do that. That's why they get such a kick out of being a troll. They can say crap. Isn't that horrible? That's just horrible. We talking about? See, I missed it. That's what happens when I skip forward too fast. That's how I can stands. This. Hi, Aussie fish in the house. Oh, look at me! I'm getting so excited. I thought the saying goes that what happens in Vegas, stay in Vegas. Aren't you breaking some kind of rule? Yeah, it's not like I told you I was on a work trip sitting at the Texas Hold'em table. Oh, oh yeah. Our HR function was at Las Vegas once a year. Seriously, I'm going to pay attention. Talk about if a bird flies by, I get distracted. Could you imagine me in Las Vegas? The lights, the bling, the ching, cha-ching, the overhead rope. Oh my gosh, it was just so much to do. It was nothing about work. I tried really hard to stay focused on the work, but that didn't work out so good. Oh, Big D's going to Vegas. Oh, look at all these people thinking they're going to go. I took them down. And no, absolutely not. Okay, that now I'm back on budget again. Back on budget. I saw that back on 4G budget. Amen. Who's saying hi? Hi. Are they bird of paradise flowers in the background? Those are my cannas, Canna, and I love them. I don't know if they're supposed to be perennials. These I bought this year. I'm going to leave them in the pond and hope that they're perennials and come back next year, but I think they're annuals. And I know in pond life, they don't call them annuals and perennials. I call them, because I love flowers and plants. They're tropical. Tropicals don't come back. Hardies come back every year. There's also a hardy hibiscus that I just picked up. It was on sale. It was like they were going to throw it away. I was like, I'll take it. It's hardy, which means it comes back. I'll take it. I'll repot it, put it down at the deepest part of the pond in the winter, and hopefully it'll come back next year. Because I am really liking how this pond is coming out now that I've taken out all those water lettuces. I really like it a lot. So thank you for saying that. Cue overload. You're not kidding. Oh my gosh. I think, do you know how some people have those like harnesses for children with a leash on them? Somebody should have had me on a leash when I was in Vegas. Bring them in, Suzy. They are tropical. Then you have them next year. That's what I'm going to do then with these cannas. I'm going to bring them in because I think the color of the flower next to the purplish leaf is one of the prettiest plants I have in my pond right now. So it's like, I definitely want to try. I'm going to try to bring it inside then. The pond bridge looks so. Do you know what I did a little different with this pond bridge? It's very slight. Not that anybody, you might notice it. It's been tilted this way a little bit since I put it in there, and I just leveled it. And I noticed it as soon as I come out now. I was like, wow, what a difference. That looks really good. That looks like so much difference. Now, and it could just be me. Because I see the pond day in, day out. But I have been working all day. It's so funny on water changes. So, I have several tanks. So I'm doing water changes. I could do water changes and get them done in an hour and a half. It's just water change, gravel vac, done. But then there's times when I do the water changes and do the glass and do some decor and take this out and then do like it all day long. And all I did was get the basement water changed. I didn't get any of the tanks upstairs. I was like, but I enjoyed it so much. I spent so much time in my 2 axolotl tanks. It was just absolutely amazing. And while I was in there digging them up, I actually put all the axolotls in a summer tub in the basement and put the GoPro in to see how they interacted with each other, because there's 3 females in a tank. They're mine. 2 males in a tank. They're my daughters. All 5 were in this summer tub. Well, if anybody has axolotls, they don't really do a whole lot. And it was no different. I just kept waiting for some action. And maybe because they're a year and 2 months, they may not be sexually mature because they were stepping on each other's heads. They were, just being axolotls, but there was no mating going on. So I don't think I'm going to have eggs, fertile eggs anyway. So that's okay, though. I'm going to try again next year. But it was fun and relaxing cleaning out that tank. And then above it was the electric blue Jack Dempsey's. And I just took my time, almost to the point where like I was wiping off each leaf of each. It was just so relaxing. There was no rushing. It was just beautiful. I absolutely remembered all the reasons why I fell in love with this hobby today. While I was meandering around while other people were doing real work. Other people were educating people on goldfish and swimming, and John was visiting his parents and, doing the responsible thing, and I was enjoying life in my basement for guilty pleasures. But it was so cool. So cool. Shelby Ray's in the house. Hey, Shelby. Wow, 38. Is there really 38 on? Oh, that's the other thing. I don't think here I can see how many people are on. Oh, I can. There's 38 people on. This is so exciting. Thank you, everybody. This is so great. Do not forget about Susan's newsletter in September. I'm going to need some help with that, Chewy, because that sounds like homework. Now, some people are really good with that. They have the gift of writing. I have so many journals that have a half a page one started and nothing else. Writing is not my forte. I can talk. Maybe I should talk into a microphone and let it write, but as soon as I'm gonna rat on myself here. Let me tell you how long it took me to get my bachelor's degree. 18 years to get my bachelor's degree. So this is coming from somebody who reads a page, flips the page, has to go back and read the page, flips the page, goes back to the page and flip the page. It just is what it is. Plus with 4 small kids, 1 class at a time, 18 years. So as soon as I hear, can you write an article? Like, what? What? I want to, because I feel like I have so much in my heart to say. So many experience that I experienced. I come to like a little brick wall when it comes to writing. And I know I can't be the only one. I want Axel so bad. Well, maybe I'll have babies. And if I have babies, I do have a vendor that told me if I have babies and I can get them to this size, that he will take them from me and he will sell them, which is amazing. So I don't have to worry about having hundreds of axolotl babies. But obviously I would give them to some of my fish keeping friends who want them and want to learn about them, because I just think they're the perfect aquarium companion because they're so easy. There's no heater involved. You just got to keep them cooler. So my basement is perfect. They stay around 65 degrees. They eat worms. They love worms. When they were little tiny babies, they were the red worms, little red worms. Now they earthworms. I just dip them in water to rinse them off and hand feed them with tongs. They're also J&J Aquatics. I think it's J&J makes this beautiful soft pellet of like salmon. And axolotls love it. I could put 10 pellets in their little food dish. They chomp it right up. They find it with smell. I don't think their sight is good. I love my axolotls. Absolutely love them. But they don't do a whole lot. You're not going to see them doing flips. Like if you got a flower horn who's personable coming up to you, they look like they're looking at you and they're sound asleep. You can dangle that worm in front of them and they could be sleeping or they could be awake. You kind of have to watch their gill action to know if they're actually awake or sleeping. But I do love them. I spent all day yesterday scrubbing the bottom of the fry tank, and fries are swimming around more naturally. Very satisfying. I am right there with you. I can't even tell you how satisfying that was. Holy cow. Oh, is Rob 93 in the house? Rob, did I miss you? Hey, Rob. Nice work today. You, Haley, Kaylee. Who else was there from Bucks County besides Callie? You guys did an amazing job. Thank you so much. I love that you guys were our voice. You spoke out. You got active. I just think that's awesome. Thank you so much. Speaking of homework, I'm writing a 5. Exactly. Year after year after year, I take my girls camping. I brought a textbook with me. I was constantly writing a 5-page paper that was always due the next week, because when you take adult classes, they're usually compressed. So before you show up on your first day, you have had to have already read 3 chapters, have a 5-page paper ready. Oh, it was so writing intensive. 18 years. But guess what? I got my bachelor's degree. Who would have thought? Got my bachelor's degree. Oh, and this too. Like, you saw that? 25 years sober. 25 years sober. And it still took me 18 years. So you know I wasn't out partying. Some of us are thicker than others. That just is. Friendly neighborhood spider keeper. I thought you just graduated. Oh my gosh, you're not one of those people, RN, that does papers for fun, are you? So nobody calls axolotls water dogs anymore. At least we did in Illinois. Actually, there are water dogs that look very similar to axolotls. They're in the salamander family, but they're not the salamander called Mexicanum. They're very similar. And yeah, I guess some people still call them water dogs. There's another salamander that looks very similar to the axolotl, but it changes. Do you still call it a water dog? Interesting. Huh. Ooh, funky funk. I need a female axolotl. Both okay. Pam, I can relate to that. We have Lucy and Ethel in my daughter's tank. And about 9 months into it, they both dropped balls. So it's like Ricky and Fred maybe, but that's a surprise. And it's funny because we didn't know until we knew. And then there's obvious that you can obviously tell. So that's how I know my 3 are females, her 2 are males. If you had a female, would you mate them? Would you try to raise some axolotls? That'd be interesting. That's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm in my senior classes right now. Good luck, Mare. Oh my gosh, I totally don't envy you. See, I'm gonna be. Hopefully, they were in this tank. They were in a summer pond, a little summer tub, probably about 40 gallons. Probably about 12 hours, though I had them in overnight. Kept them in overnight, and today I put them back in their tank. So hopefully, but I don't know about when their maturity rate is. I know they're full grown, but they may not be like sexually active. They are adorable. And there's all different morphs. So you got your leucistic, the albino, the wild, the one, I forget, I got to call it GPS. It's not GPS, but the eyes are like green flashlights, and they're almost glow in the dark. They're amazing. They look like these creatures from that got, I don't know. They're just so awesome. And they're adorable. Even the wild morphs are just absolutely adorable. Hey, Liz, my fave DIY girl. That's right. She is the DIY queen. They do look like they're fighting. I like the name. See, Funky Funk calls them water dogs. There you go. And it might be because I'm new to the hobby. I didn't know there was a slang for them, so I just call them my axles. And once you've been trained to eat actual food without being picky, they can be fairly dominant. Don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Bosemani rainbows? Huh. Comparing an axolotl to a flower. Never thought I'd hear that. So opposite. Let me tell you, they couldn't even be more opposite. Girl with a beautiful name in the comments. How are you, Shelby Ray Lane? Oh, you guys are so awesome. Look at this. Ah, LPN. We were on pins and syringes. That's very funny, Liz. Writing is easy. It's editing that's a hard part. Ask me why the Club magazine editor used to go through mine and correct errors. Ah, so I don't have to edit my own writing? I could just like talk into a microphone and write it? That I can do. Did Q just shake it up for us? No, I would never shake it up. Yes, the tiger salamander. Sometimes I get paid to. What? That is awesome. You must be really good at writing. Yes, the tiger salamanders do look like the axolotls before they morph. Is that what they do? They morph? There's another word for it. It's not morph. I remember reading my mom's quiz questions while she would drive me to football. Oh, yeah, all the time. All the time. Oh, my gosh. So I had to take a foreign language. My youngest daughter, I was like 3 months. So I took American Sign Language. I practiced 2 years. I took 2 years of American Sign Language. And I could tell you that this baby was using American Sign Language to communicate long before she had the English language. With more cookie, and her cookie was those biscuits. Please. She was signing long before she had verbal language. So that opened my eyes to what babies know, they just can't say. And I am a firm believer in that. And then the Spanish, I mean, oh my gosh, our Facebook was in Spanish, the TV was in Spanish. When I was learning Spanish, my whole house was in Spanish. It's funny. Constantly, my kids constantly, they're the reason why I did it. They're the reason why I did it. They're my motivating, shining light. I have 4 daughters. Who wouldn't want to be a success for your daughters? Show them the way. You know, even with learning disabilities and a pretty horrible past, you can still go for it. You can still do it. You can still go for your dreams. That's what I wanted to show. I didn't want to say words if I wasn't doing it. So it motivated me. Absolutely. I was going to try to raise axolotls, but it seems I need a female. Yeah, pretty sure you need them both. I'm looking at my watch. Yeah, birds and bees tell me you need them both. We have less than 10 minutes to Scott's and Liz's show tonight. So I have a live stream. We sit back, we chat, all goes. Whatever we want to talk about, we talk about. I think Scott has a pretty good show going on. He's got a nice structure, and he's going to be OBS in it. So I can't wait for that. Tell your daughter congrats, Liz. The world needs more nurses. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is amazing. And he's got a new jewelry company. See, if you go for your dreams. Oh, thank you. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you go for your dreams, just have to go. I hear that motorcycle. Hear that? Shiny thing. Sorry. I'm hearing an ice cream truck. No, that's your neighborhood. I think my neighborhood has motorcycles. But it could be. Last time I had the cricket and somebody else was looking for it in their house. That's right. This is awesome. I had to give away my water dog. Oh, no. So that's why I'm not worried about the babies, because I have a dealer. I got a dealer still. Now, I have a dealer at these reptile shows I go to. I go to a reptile show once a month. Either I go to the one up by Ambler, or I go to Big Oaks Reptile Show. There's a couple around here. And I go to the one up in New York, kind of a little bit past where the Aquatic Experience is. So I get to know the dealers and the vendors. And I have a vendor there that says if I have babies, he will absolutely take them. He'll buy them from me and sell them at his table, which I think is great. I'm sure I'll hold back. And plus, I would give them to any of my friends who wants them. Yes, Liz, you stop him, I'll pay. I'm afraid to see. Oh, the ice cream truck. That's right. That's right. Talk to text app. Does that do punctuation enough for like a newsletter? Or do I say comma, paragraph, space, new paragraph? I could do that. Talk to text. I'm going to check it out. I'm hoping to get start teaching hospital. Oh, that's great. Oh, wow. That is so great. We're getting orders now. Got Nutty Buddy. Everybody wants ice cream. How many people are out front now waving down that ice cream truck? Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Oh, pediatric nursing. That's impressive. That's very impressive. Oh, really? You do lose it if you don't practice. And I do love to practice. I do love to practice American Sign Language and my Spanish. King and Queen are up next. Let's not forget them. 3 minutes away, we're going to act like a shoal of fish, and we're all just going to swim our way over there. No pressure. So a lot about diseases and go to be a vet. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do that. I don't think I could be a vet. I'd be drinking at musical leaf blower. That would be great. Then I wouldn't mind him. He actually called me at 6:30 tonight. Hey babe, got a few minutes? No. All day, yes. Right. I'm listening to Aquafunk. I'm setting up outside. I'm like, oh, the timing is impeccable. Impeccable. My mom was a nurse. Oh, awesome. Labor and delivery, I think that would be awesome. Would I just go? Oh yeah. 5 minutes to go. It's less than 5 minutes. I think 3 minutes. Okay, guys. Everybody make sure you get your food ready, your snacks ready. Put your kids away and be ready for Scott's live stream. I'm going to sign off now because I don't want to be late for Scott's live stream and I have to get in. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much, Candy. I telling you, I look so forward to it. So forward to it. So forward to it. Oh my gosh, look at my Johnny Bag of Donuts. Look at my Johnny Bag of Donuts. Does everybody see that? What a way to end my live stream. I got a $4.99 super chat from my honey. Wow. That is awesome. That is so sweet. Baby, you rock. And thank you again, Scott, for and if I missed anybody, I'm so sorry. I got to start learning how to look for, because there's no live. There's no highlight on it. So thank you, everybody, for coming out this Sunday night. Let's head over to Scott at King and Queen Cichlids. And I hope I see you all next week, guys. Thanks. This was so much fun. You guys just really make my day. Really make my day. You guys